Hello, it's me again. If you haven't come across me before, I'm Sarah. I'm a taxidermist and I restore natural history specimens. Thanks to Elle for inviting me on again for another taxidermy tip. And I have chosen today to show you how to fix a bird to a base. That sounds like I'm teaching you to suck eggs a little bit, but actually you'd be surprised how important it is to do this properly. I used to do something called Wobble Wednesdays, which was when I was restoring a education collection. Whoever had made the mounts had not fixed the wires properly to the bases, and so all of the mounts were wobbling. So it was my job to put in new leg wires and reattach to the base properly. So it's quite a simple technique. What you'll need is, well, if you have a Dremel, ideal. I am a huge advocate for Dremels. I've got two. Nobody needs two. I've got two because I love them. This one is a battery operated one and it's just really helpful. So it replaces a drill amongst many other tools, and that's what I'm going to use today. If you don't have one of them, then you will need a drill just to make the holes in the base, but the rest can be done with hand tools. I mean, you could make the holes with hand tools if you wanted, but good luck to you. Anyway, so what I'm going to use today is this education specimen I have made. So this is a bird without the skin on, basically, just showing my trainees how their mounts should look on the inside, obviously. So I'm just going to attach this to a new base. Nothing fancy, obviously, it's just a piece of MDF because this isn't a display piece, this is just for educational purposes. So I'll do one side using the Dremel and then the other side using hand tools, just so people who don't have a Dremel, but you should, can still do this. Okay, so first off I'm just going to draw 2 dots where my holes are going to be. Then I need a drill bit that is the same or slightly larger than my leg wires. There are other rotary tools available. Don't have to have a Dremel. I don't work for them. So I'm going to make the holes. It's ill-advised to drill towards your hand like that. Don't do that at home. I just did it so that you could see what I was doing. Anyway, so there's your main leg holes that go all the way through. Next to those, I'm going to make a hole either side, but I'm not going to go all the way through the wood. So you're not going to be able to see this hole from the top. It's just going to go maybe halfway in. Okay, that's your holes ready. So your leg wires will go into here, your feet will sit on top of here, and then we'll bend the leg wires round and back into this hole to anchor it. However, obviously, if you just did that, then the base would wobble, wouldn't it? Because the wires would be standing proud of the bottom of the base. So what we're going to do next is create some recesses for the wires to sit in. Again, Dremel. This is a standing bit that I have for my Dremel. I imagine you can get smaller ones to make a smaller channel, but I mean, it really doesn't matter. It's underneath the base. Who cares what it looks like? Some people probably do. I do not. So I'm just popping my sanding bit in, and then between these 2 holes, my hole that's all the way through and just halfway through, I'm going to sand a channel into the MDF. you want your channel to be deep enough to be a recess for the wire, obviously, so that it doesn't sit proud. And that's a Dremel to channel. Easy. So on this side, slightly harder now. I'm going to draw a line, just because I'm a bit cack-handed. And then we're going to chisel that line out. So I like to use a knife just to score along the edges of where I want the channel to be. I'm also just going to clamp this to the table to make it a little bit easier. And then I'm simply just going to use this very blunt chisel that I haven't used for a long time to channel out that recess. Move that a bit closer. It's actually been years since I've done it this way, because I've had a Dremel for years, and we should all have Dremels to make life easier. That's a really pleasant noise for you there. I wonder if Elle can edit that to make it a little bit quieter, perhaps, so that you're not being deafened. So there you go. I've literally just gouged out some wood with a blunt chisel, and it's exactly the same as this. A bit rougher looking. Who cares? So here we go. Got our bird. I'm going to pop it on to our base. Using some pliers to pull it through. Seeing as my wires aren't completely straight. There we go. Now I'm just going to fold the wire over to the second hole on both sides, like so. And now I need to cut the wire to make sure that it's not going to, once I've put it in the second hole, it won't stand proud. So what I like to do, you can see, I like to get my pliers and bend the wire where the hole is, like that. So it's going to go into the hole, hopefully, if I've lined it up okay. And then I'll just cut that wire. Always wear goggles. And then I'm just going to push that little hook into the second hole. So it fits nicely. Sometimes it still wants to ping out a little bit, so you can fix that by either pulling it out, bending that so that it's more than a 90-degree angle, so it hooks in and anchors, hopefully, like that. But you can also encourage it a little bit with brute force. So what I like to do is I'll just use the edge of my table to put my base on, like that, making sure I'm not damaging the bird at all. And then hit it hard, as we say in Yorkshire. And you can always reinforce this with a bit of glue. The reason I like this technique is because it doesn't require glue, and therefore it's quite easy. If I decide, I don't know why I would, but if I decided I wanted to put this on display, I could take it off here quite easily, and I could put it on a fancy base if I wanted. Okay. I'm just doing the same on the other side. Okay, and now you can see it's nice and snugly fit in there, not standing proud at all, and we can put it on the table nice and flat. Hope you enjoyed that tip. Hope it wasn't too boring. Hope you can use it, and hope you have a lovely new year.